Hey, it's Sheldon with TigerTough here. I am going to show you how to put these seat covers on a Chevy or GMC truck. So both of the outside headrests have got a button on the side, and I'm just going to push that in to tip it forward. And then there's two buttons, one on either side of the headrest. You just press them both in, and then with them pressed in, you can pull the headrest right out. The center headrest is the same, but it doesn't have a button on the side, so just press in the two buttons at the base of it. They're here and here, and then you can just pull it right out. The first piece we're going to put on is going to be the passenger side bottom cover. And so I've got that cover here. We'll just open it up. And the side with the loop Velcro is the bottom. So now I'm going to fold it about halfway, maybe a little more, inside out, and that just helps it go on way easier. So we'll pull it over like that. And now I just pull it down so that all the seams across here and here line up with the actual seams of the seat, and then we can just roll it down the seat just like this. Now with the cover on, we're just going to push this flap here between the seat back and the seat bottom, and we'll wrap around and fasten it back to the cover. It might help if you flip this seat bottom up and down as you go. I like to have it about halfway up. Lets me get my hand in there. And now we've got this flap through here, and now pull this tight, because the tighter you pull it, the better your cover's going to fit. So I like to give it a good pull, and then wrap it up, stick it on like that. Okay, that side was practice. Now we're going to do it for real on this big side. It's actually the exact same. So we're just going to turn this whole cover part way inside out. And now we'll, just like before, I'm just going to work it down over the seat bottom and make sure that all the seams line up the way they're supposed to. I'm just going to slide these through, and when you're pushing these flaps through, they'll go underneath of these car seat anchors. And just like before, pull these as tight as you can before you fasten them up. The next piece we're going to cover is this center armrest with the cup holders. So I've got the cover for it here, and I'm just going to pull it on part way, and then I'm going to reach in and get this little loop for pulling the armrest down and pull it right through. There's the slit in the cover for it. We'll just pull this right down the armrest like that, and then this here gets tucked up around the back of the armrest. So with that tucked up, I'm just holding it up there with my left hand, and we're going to take this flap and stick it down in there so they stick together. Now you probably noticed this, but this one's rocking some of our custom embroidery. If you think this looks cool, you can get it for yourself. If you don't think it looks cool, you're wrong. The next pieces we're going to cover are the two little storage doors in the back of the seat, and we've got the covers for them here. The covers can only go on one door, so a good way to check is I'm just holding this one up next to it, and the hole here is in the right spot for the latch, so we're good. And I'm going to do this just like I did the armrest cover, where you put it on and just kind of slide it down. So before I put it on all the way, I'm just going to run this loop right through this slit here as well. So that way you can still release the latch once everything's covered up. Through the hole here in the cover, which is perfect because that means the little door will latch like it's supposed to. So to fasten it on, we're just going to push the flaps through this side. Everything goes kind of behind the door where it's hard for you to see it, but then we'll just fold these over and fasten everything together. like that. So if you were getting ahead of me here and have already taken a look at the cover for the back, you probably saw this strip of flaps and holes and thought, holy smokes, that thing is intimidating. And I agree with you. But the way Chevy designed this seat is very difficult to make a cover for. And so we had to design a cover that you could put on and that would stay on and didn't require an engineering degree to install. So here we go. It's just follow along, it's not actually that bad. First thing we're gonna do is just push the whole thing through the seat belt like that. And I should have mentioned this before, but you need to have, there's 6 circles across one side. Have those so they go up on the top, because they're gonna go right around where the headrest goes in. Now I'm just gonna So now we're just going to take the cover down the side of the seat like this, and I'm just going to reach around and tuck it back in behind the seat. Like that. I'll do the same on the driver's side. And you'll just want to make sure that the seams here and on both sides are lined up with the corners of the factory seat, and then you'll know you got everything going on correctly. The next thing we're going to do is just fasten this Velcro up that goes behind the seat belt. So just put that together. And then starting on one end, I'm just going to start tucking this loose stuff down in behind the seat back. And so right back against the back of the cab, you can feel where there's a piece of metal that comes right up against the seat back. And so I'm just squishing the cushion of the seat in and pushing the cover in between it and the metal. Just like that. There's 5 strips that I've got pulled out here, 2 on either end and 1 in the center that have got hooked Velcro on them. The next thing we're going to do is push those all between the seat back and bottom. Push those down in where we can grab them once I flip the seat bottom up. Now I'm just going to pull all 5 of these down to make sure that they're where I need them. There we go. And now we'll just take all of these and wrap them right up around underneath the seat. And stick them up there like that. When you're doing this, just make sure that you're not covering up your car seat anchors like that. And these are just sticking to the factory upholstery underneath the seat bottom. There. So now we're going to take care of all of these loose flaps here. I'm just going to pull this door open, and the first one I'm going to put in is this little guy right here. It goes right in between these hinges, and I'm just pulling it tight, and then we're just going to tuck it right up inside the seat back like this. So it goes in between this plastic and the actual seat back. And we'll just work our way all the way around doing that. So this top one here, just tuck it right up in. If you just paid a lot of money to get your fingernails done, it might be good to get someone else to do this for you. I didn't do that. Last piece we have to do on the back is up in behind this armrest cover. So we'll pop the armrest down, and then there's these two little flaps on the side. Just gonna tuck them in like that, and down in behind the plastic. It's hard to see it, but it's right down in here. Again, same thing on this side. And now I'm just gonna take this here piece and push it right up behind the armrest. Just like so. And then we fasten them together. And like I mentioned before, now that this is all on, I'm actually gonna go back and tighten up these straps right here. We just got them out of the way before, so that it was a lot easier to work without having to deal with them. So just like before, flip the seat bottoms up, and then we'll just undo them, pull them down good and tight, and wrap them back up there. I always put the headrests back on the seat before I cover them, just because they're so small and the covers are relatively tight. It makes it a lot easier when the seat is holding the headrest still for you. On these two outside headrests, there's a hole in the side of the cover. That hole goes around the button on the side of the headrest. And to put them on, you just line them up and slide it down. And then I always work the cover around this button and tuck it back in behind it, so you get a nice clean finished look. And then we just take these two little flaps and fasten them together. Because of the way the center headrest is shaped, where it's really narrow at the bottom and wide in the middle, the cover takes a little bit to get on. But to do it, I just hook it around one side of the headrest like that. And you want this long flap going down the front. And then you can just pull it over the headrest and just squish the headrest in while you pull the cover on. Once you've got it on, everything pops back into shape just like it's supposed to. And then we'll just take this, and it tucks right up inside the cover where the Velcro fastens together.